Hello all. This video here is made up of various sections, and it's made up of videos and photographs and voiceovers of subjects that I find to be quite strange, and I'm just wanting to get answers for any explanations or whatnot. It just seems rather, some of the stuff is really peculiar, and I thought I would just share this out on my video called Quest. Now I'm going to possibly make a few of these, so it'll be made up of different sections. It'll be like one part, and then there'll be a wee bit intermittent, and then there'll be another part, etc, etc. And it will just go through all the different photos and videos and stuff that I point out that I find to be quite odd. So it's just like, you know, you could have your own decision and make your own mind up on it. I mean, I just personally find it something that I haven't come across before. Everybody's got their own point of view on it. You know, some don't. A lot of people might not see it the way I do. I mean, I'm pushing 46, 45 and a half, and I won't be long before I'm turning 46. So I've been around for a wee while. And these things that I've pointed out in this video, I can't believe, and I don't really think, I can't understand how anybody could think that I've missed this before. When I talk about recent times, I mean like times where, this is like 2021, so I mean going back to 2016 was probably the time where I noticed a great intensity of this sort of oddness. I've always been a believer in, well, supernatural stuff because I've personally experienced it. So, but without going into too much of that, as I say, this is just stuff that I've decided to put up on my video and just share it with you to see what you just to see what you think of it, basically. That's all. As I say, everybody's got their own way of looking at things, and you know, they may not believe, they might just think it's normal. A lot of people do that I've talked about these things. They just think that I've missed them or it's normal, but it's just something I'm going to share with you. So enjoy watching. It's really all it's about. Just see what you think. Okay, thanks for selecting it. I don't know what you call that, but it's pretty odd. It's very odd. I don't know what you would call that, like. Very strange. Never seen that before. Now this is just outright bizarre. I've never in my life saw this before with my naked eye, first hand. I've never seen this before. I'm coming up for 46 and this just blows me away. I couldn't believe it when I was seeing it. So I photographed it, and it also amazes me that people were just going about as if it wasn't there. It seemed to me that they weren't noticing it, and I haven't heard anything, any news about it from anybody yet. I took this just very recently, a few days ago. It's impressive, but it's very much bizarre, like, because as I say, I've never ever saw anything like this before. A ring around the sun like that, with the light, the dots at either side, and slight rainbow colours as well. It's impressive. It's really amazing to see that. I don't know what it is like. But anyway, I've pictured it. Took it within. I was in the Whitfield area of Dundee early that morning, and I managed to capture this on photograph, and I've done a wee short video at the time of it, and I've photographed it and sharing it with you now. Here's another point as well about this. When there's a solar eclipse, lots of people talk about it. They go out with all their recording equipment and everything, they hang around for ages outside waiting to see it happening, me included. I was always fascinated and still am. But yet when this phenomenon here that you've seen in the picture, the photo I've taken. Nothing, there's nothing being said or nobody around picturing it or photographing it or anything, nothing. It's just like everybody going around with, as if it wasn't there, it seems to me. But if there was a solar eclipse, it's a different story. Everybody's, well not everybody, but a lot of people were out wanting to see it. It's well publicised. But this isn't. I find that quite odd also. These trees are at the Bowdon industrial estate, and they're at a very unusual angle there. They're all coming down, they're all flattened for some reason. This is just at the Drumgeeth Road, that's Whitfield or Blumby Road, just meeting Drumgeeth Road. That's where the what do you call it? Bowdon industrial estates down there. So I'm going to get behind this lot. It's quite unusual. They're all sort of like bent over, so I'm going to have a look. So, this is what it's like now. They're all bent over. Why all the trees like that? There couldn't be wind that would cause this. It wouldn't grow like that either. This one in here, I mean, it's like the other tree at Salt Crescent, it's just fallen over. Why is it snapped like this? It's just snapped. I mean, that one isn't snapped, that's actually bent over. It's touched the ground, it's broke through the, I think there's a fence up there or something, but it's just absolutely nuts. Look at all this. Since when did trees grow horizontally? I mean, this is just nuts. Yes. Yeah, right through the fence and everything. Right into the ground. I know it's just a few days ago I was driving the Whitfield buses along Drumgeeth Road. Can't get that at all, I just don't see how that would cause all these trees to do this. This one here has even grew right through the fence. And for some reason this has been chopped. I've been noticing that it's just been mysteriously chopped. Chopped down and cut. What's going on? I mean, there's another one's cut here. What are they cutting it for? I mean, they're not bothered about the fence. I mean, all the other trees and everything have just crashed through. So what is it they're cutting the trees for? It's like that all the way along there. And this one, it looks like it's broke. Why, I don't know. I mean, trees didn't grow like that anyway with all these stumps like that. It was just one big stump and all the branches grew up like that. All this multiple stuff is new. All that. It's another thing, why are these branches and logs being cut anyway? Why would they go to all the trouble of doing that? Just leaving it. What's the reason, the purpose for it? It's just a wee bit along the middle. Look at this. They're all sort of bent out. The whole lot of them. It's the whole lot have been pushed. All of them have been like that. This one's actually even broken. That's actually broke. This has been curved round, starting to break. And they're all going like this. I mean, I only noticed this, say, a few days ago. I mean, I knew there were strange trees here anyway, but this is just like totally, it's just gone crazy now, like with the trees. I mean, I've never noticed it like this before. This is just nuts. I mean, what's going on? Look at this. It's like some sort of force that's made them all bend over. Bend in that direction. I mean, it's just weird. And yet, the cars are, I don't seem to be seeing anybody that's noticing or saying anything about it. And here's another bit. Look, tree merging into the fence. There's that as well. There's a big fence post, concrete fence post right in the middle. I mean, you wouldn't have put a post there, would you? I mean, plant trees there if there was a post there, and vice versa. It's just crazy. Some sort of, maybe, I don't know, an experiment or something, I don't know. Philadelphia experiment film seems to keep coming to mind. It's just absolutely nuts. Look at it. There's some more weird stuff. This branch isn't just woven through the fence, it's infused with it as well. It's actually infused in it, as is a lot of the branches, which is completely bonkers to me. Like, the texture of this feels really rubbery. It's just rubbery, just, I don't know. It's pretty odd anyway, really strange. So that's where go towards Whitfield. It's the Blumby Road. That just leads on to Berwick Drive. This is Drumgeeth Road. It stretches all the way along there, this phenomenon. Seems to come along there. Probably along there as well, I don't know, but I drove the bus on this bit of the road and I spotted it. It's just bizarre as anything. Okay, I took this picture here of the tree that you could see in the photos is grown at a very peculiar angle, and not only that, it's grown right over the headstones. Now, I can't understand why a tree would be planted where headstones were put, and vice versa, why would they put headstones in the vicinity of where the trees are? I find this really baffling and puzzling. This photo I taken was at Balgate Cemetery in Dundee. Very strange as well. This is the bus.org. That was the bus I was driving, 2043. It's now 1:25 in the morning, and that's the only one it's shown. It's the only bus in the whole of Dundee. That was when I was driving on the 7. That's going up towards Whitfield, Victoria Road. In fact, there's the last update at 30 minutes past 12. I mean, there was a lot of snow. This is the night there was all that chaos with the snow. The Sunday, the think it's the 7th of February, but very unusual. That's the bus there. This is the same Sunday I helped Stevie, I think it was, take his bus down Albert Street on the 33. I was the 33 behind, because I went up to Whitfield and changed the 33. But I was just going through my phone, tidying it up and that, you know, clearing the browsing history, and then, but, you know, just leaving this page open as always, and then it's happened to see this. That's the bus I was driving, 2043, on the last part of my late shift, 3132G on Sunday. Totally bizarre. And of course, obviously, I parked the bus up. I was a bit later getting back to the depot, but the bus was parked up in the depot. It obviously signed off, logged off and everything. And yet there it is. Yep, I logged off. It was ice and snow and everything, so I went down the ski slope as well. Like 33 was in front of me, and he was, you know, passengers on. We were all late, but the bus was parked up safely, logged off, and yet it's still showing on here. It's the only bus that's showing in the whole of Dundee. Probably the whole of Scotland, actually. Certainly in the whole of Dundee, anyway. Now, I may have updated now. It's maybe away now. But it was there. It was the only one, the last one. It's gone now, but it was, as you saw, I recorded it. Just when I updated it, it's gone. But yeah, it's away now. But as you've seen earlier, we just saw me updating it, and now it's been updated. Now, why would that be the last bus that was left? Very unusual. Very strange. This is a photograph I've taken of a standing stone in the middle of one of Camperdown's golf courses. Now, I was never aware of any standing stone being in Camperdown like this. So I've took a picture of it, and I thought I would share that with you. I find it pretty odd that, you know, there hasn't really been much, to my knowledge, talked about or mentioned about of this stone. So this is in Camperdown Country Park in Dundee. Strange.I at Camperdown Park, just down from the zoo, and this is the southwest golf course. So it's just in the south of the zoo. This is a Strange.I here, and it hasn't been uprooted or anything like that. It's grew this way. It's another Strange.I just down from the other one. It's way too low. That should be a way up to there. It's splitting out quite a lot, but it's quite low down. Just another strange phenomena here. This plane doing a U-turn in the sky, very unusual. It might not come out in the camera, but it's I can see the profile of the plane. Very unusual. Now, this is a photo I taken at Dundee's Eastern Cemetery, and it shows a picture of a headstone right in the centre of a bunch of trees. So I just wonder, it seems odd why they would place a headstone where there was no trees to be, and vice versa. Why would trees grow at a grave or a headstone? So I photographed that. I find it pretty bizarre. I've seen quite a lot of this, and this is just one example. So I thought I'd share this with you. So this is at the Eastern Cemetery in Dundee. Very strange. Clouds are very reflective. There's this phenomenon happening now as well. That's an orange light, but the clouds are just so reflective now, and now these lines are starting to appear with the way the light's forming. Mist and that never used to be as reflective as that. Never used to be so reflective. This is a Whitfield. Late January, check the date, 2020. Yeah, that was at Whitfield. It's just that some of these orange lights, it looks like there's a fire in the background or something. That's how reflective it is. It's the 28th of January 2021, by the way. Back up at Whitfield again. Notice now, see, this orange glow seems to be quite common now, very lately. It's like the orange lights, the orange type lights are much more enhanced all of a sudden. Even the ones that were at the police station and that, and have been around for ages. It's like all the lights have just enhanced. It seems different. Yeah, that goes. It's the same for the street lights as well. It's just sort of like they're more, brighter, more enhanced or something. Slightly. Another thing that's strange is that the weather, the way the rain is, the mist or the drizzle's falling, it's going more horizontal. There's much more patchier as well. Just 1 minute it could be on, next minute it could be off, and you could be about maybe a kilometre less, half a mile down the road, and it could be off, and then just maybe a very short distance later it can be back on again. But this sort of orange glow that's nothing compared to some of them. But it's quite odd. It's that type of light there. That's on the police station. It's different. It never used to be so orange as that, but it seems to cause a lot more of a glow. It never used to be quite as pronounced as that. And it's like that with a lot of these lights as well, all over. This is at Whitfield. You can see, I don't know, you can't see on the horizon, but it does sort of like, if you're looking at a distance, this whole area is the sky's lit up. See, there's another example of the orange glow. This seems to happen a lot with these orange types of light. It's also like they're variable as well. See, it's like a fire, but that's just a light. It's been happening a lot lately. It's like these orange type of lights could vary, but you think that was a fire. You would. This is just off Forfar Road, Argyll Street. That's Argyll Street. But that's the glow. This is common now. I'll block the street light out. When I went past that police station earlier at Whitfield, the orange lights seemed like the contrast or something. The tone was different slightly. But in this instance it'd be a lot brighter. This is another unusual phenomenon as well. It's regarding the colours. This is all the pavement on Castle Street. This is Castle Street in Dundee. All the pavement covered in all these different colours, painted all the flagstones this colour. I'm not sure what this is about, but pretty odd. It's colourful, but just curious. I did actually ask when they were painting it. I just said it was to make it colourful or something, but this seems to be in other places, like Union Street. So I thought I'd log that down. That's how I remember the peace sign, Mandela effect residue. I took this photograph of the international peace sign, and it shows it in the position how I remember it being. If you look back, or if you go and check, you'll find that the symbol is rotated 180 degrees and it's pointing downwards, the lines. But that's not how I always remember it being the way it is shown here. And I've got pictures here as well with graffiti on a wall showing the symbol how I remembered it being. If you look back, or if you do research into the Mandela effect phenomenon, then you'll probably know what I'm talking about when I mention Mandela effect residue. I always remember it being like the way I've photographed it, and not like the way it is now with the sign pointing downwards. You've got to ask yourself this as well: why would people draw it like that? If it was never that way before, why would it be shown like the way it is here in this photograph that I've taken? I took the picture in Dundee, Whitehall Street. I'll try and get an example here to show you how it is today, how it is supposed to have always been, and you'll see where I'm coming from when I talk about it being 180 degrees out. Now I've included a photograph of the international peace sign, how it is now, the international peace sign, and you can see people, the way that they do the symbol with their fingers. The fingers are pointing upwards, like how the sign used to be. Could this be Mandela effect residue in its own right? Why wouldn't people not point their fingers down the way? It's quite easy to do. Like the way the international peace sign is to have always supposed to have been. I always remember it being upwards, like how the graffiti artists have done it. I find it really odd. If you look back on my YouTube channel, I've done a video about how I talk about the Mandela effect. There's lots of stuff online, and if you're interested, you can do your own research on it. But I find it really bizarre why the artists would draw it like that, if it was never like that before. I thought I'd log that down anyway. Now the international peace sign has also got another Mandela effect on it. I seem to remember it being just 3 lines in it, rather than the 4th one, the one in the centre. I'll draw a picture how I used to remember the international peace sign at one time. It may have changed twice. I certainly don't remember it ever being pointing downwards like the way it's always supposed to be. I've always remembered it being pointing upwards, but there's also this extra line that I just fairly recently come across. It just doesn't seem right to me. I'll try and draw it, and using the software to the best that I could do it. And I'll put that up as well, and I'll let you see it, how I once remembered it. And here's another thing: why do people point 2 fingers up when there's 3 points on this international sign, 3 points pointing downwards? These are photographs I've taken in various places at various times around about Dundee area. and it shows pictures of the rainbow colours, and there's also a couple of photos in there with a double rainbow, 2 rainbows. Now I don't remember rainbows ever being in 2s like that before, until like recent times. When I say recent times, I mean 2016 onwards. Certainly for weather and sky phenomena, 2018 was really pretty intense. Now the part rainbows as well, and all the part colours, or the rainbow colours in the sky, was pretty unusual for me, because I don't remember seeing phenomena like this before, as I say, until fairly recently. Tree up at Salton Crescent in Whitfield. It just seems to be uprooted for no reason. There isn't it, that sign's knocked over as well, the 30 mile an hour, 20 mile an hour speed limit, but there's no any vehicle tracks or anything to suggest that it's been hit by a vehicle. There hasn't been enough wind, enough to cause this. So it's completely uprooted. This happened a couple of days ago. This is Saturday. I think it would have been Tuesday, the day off, Wednesday, the day off, because we came back to Thursday on this, like this. This is just a close up of the sign. It's just, again, there doesn't seem to be any obvious tyre marks or any signs that been hit by a vehicle or anything like that. It just, that seems to be over. And that tree's over. Say I was working on Tuesday, off Wednesday, came back Thursday, and that's when I noticed it. It's February, it's first Saturday. It'll be in the video. I'll log that date in later. But it's just uprooted. The tree looks healthy enough. One of the trees with the branches will point upwards, I think, where they should be. Yeah, let's take up the grass as well. All this has been like uprooted, it's burst the roots here. However, as I say, there wasn't enough wind to justify that. Nearby there's a tree that's an unusual tree at its angle there. So I'll just put that in as well. So this is a nearby tree, the Salton Crescent. It's at the strange angle. Not far from the tree. I just find it very unusual. As I say, it hasn't been pulled over by kids. No way. Never heard of that ever happening before. There isn't any tyre marks or anything like that, so I'll just log that in. I'll get the date. Yeah, it's the 6th of February today of 2021. So I was off on Wednesday past. So I was working on that Tuesday before. Off Wednesday, came back Thursday, so that would have been the 4th or the 5th, 4th of February. So there would have probably happened between that Tuesday, the 4th, and the day off on the 5th of February. That's a log. As I say, there's not really any explanation as to why this has been knocked over either. So if there was wind, why is it other signs are damaged? And that's not even a big enough sign to catch wind enough. That tree's not big enough to catch the wind to cause that. Not when the other trees nearby that would have been affected. Like I say, there wasn't enough wind. Unless it was gale force. Yeah, looking at this tree again and just thinking back, and sure I've seen this sort of thing happening before recently, in the latest years. Your trees have just unexpectedly just fallen over like that. I can't remember all the details at the top of my head, but I just
recently this seems to be a thing now. Just trees unexplainably just falling over like that. I'd say I've noticed that I think last year and possibly the year before. This is just a new thing now. Very odd. But you can see the scale of it. Nothing else is damaged. So I don't understand what's happening there. Like, very unusual. Now this is a part of Scotland near Dundee, and I've passed this area before. And one day I just came across this hole in the field. It's like a small sinkhole. So I got some pictures of it and had a closer look at it. I haven't come across stuff like this before, so I've taken a photograph to share with you. Now in this section I've got various photographs I've taken of various strange trees, and there's also some pictures of a tree embedded in, or a fence embedded in a tree. All these trees are at very peculiar angles and looking very odd. I've never come across stuff like this before until fairly recently. And I am I'm coming up for 46. And I've been outdoors for a lot of years and I've never come across stuff like this until, as I say, fairly recently, and I find it really peculiar. Equally peculiar that nobody else seems to be mentioning this, or there doesn't seem to be much news about this. This is really odd because I wouldn't be photographing trees normally. I don't have much knowledge about the growth. I'm not a gardener or anything like that. I don't study trees at university or anything. But they were everyday thing. You see them everywhere. And as I say, this is just beginning to show why I couldn't possibly have missed this before. It's really bizarre. So I've been taking pictures of it and adding it on here to share with you of this. Taken around various places within and around Dundee. Now I don't know what to make of it, but I've never heard of a Toyota Corona before. I've heard of a Toyota Corolla, but not a Corona. So make what you want of it. I just haven't heard of anything like that before. A Toyota Corona.
Okay, so that's the end of this video. I might make more of these, and it'll just be the same sort of format. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you feel like you've got any explanations for some of the anomalies that I find to be quite unusual, then me and anybody else that may be interested, that see it the same as I do, that it's quite odd, would like to hear it. Yeah, it's really odd, but there you go. Just thought I would share it with you. Thanks for watching. Okay, cheers, bye.